I lived in a kind of a middle-class home, and I didn't really have a lot of experience with the justice system or prisons or really being aware of that world. My perception has changed from thinking if someone's in jail, they're supposed to be, to there's a lot of factors. It's not that simple.
I'm Jerry Stackhouse. I spent my off-season traveling around the country meeting with athletes, visiting their local communities and talking about issues that are important to them and affect all of us. I'm here in Minneapolis, Minnesota to meet Maya Moore. Maya is in her 7th season in the WNBA with the Minnesota Lynx.
I've worked my tail off, no doubt, to get to where I'm at, but I also know I've been given opportunity that's bigger than basketball.
We're here to discuss prosecutorial reform in the American justice system. Who is Jonathan Irons, and how did you learn about his case?
Jonathan Irons is a man currently incarcerated in the Jefferson City Correctional Center in one of my hometowns of Jefferson City, Missouri. He is going into his 21st year of being wrongfully convicted. My godparents told me about his story. There was a string of robberies in his neighborhood, and they picked him up for one of the robberies. He was 16 years old. The more you looked into his case, there's just so many things that were done wrong with his conviction and how he was charged and the lack of physical evidence. For the past 10 years, my godparents have been fighting to right the wrong of his conviction.
The lead detective said he took him into a room. He didn't tape. He didn't bring any cameras in there. There was a police officer that was with him. He didn't even bring another police officer in there. It was just a comedy of errors to me. You know, I looked at it as though I was a juror when I went through it, and all those little things added up to, how did they put this man away for 50 years? How did they give him a sentence that strong? Everything that I have read and everything that I've seen, I don't know how they convicted him. And the more I looked at it, the more it just struck a chord in me that, man, we gotta do something for this young man.
Hey, Jonathan, it's Maya.
Hey, Maya, how you doing?
Glad you were able to call in.
Glad to hear about your story. Hopefully that we can bring some awareness to it and can help in any way we can.
Thank you, man. I truly appreciate that, man. I really do. Just because you're in prison doesn't mean that you just let prison overtake you and you let it beat you down, man. You have to keep going.
I get pretty worked up when I see injustice, and so I couldn't pretend like I didn't see this happening, and Jonathan essentially becoming a part of our family over all these years. It just really motivated me to want to help. If people can see me, taking that risk to go on this journey, hopefully it can free them up to want to do the same thing.
For too many generations, we've thrown away people, especially young men of color, and we just can't keep running our society in that way. The individuals aren't better off, our communities aren't better off, and our neighborhoods aren't better off.
It's important to consider that if this individual gets that felony, there's a strong likelihood that they can't get grants for college. 9 times out of 10, they won't get the job that they need to take care of their family. This conviction, though it may seem just simply like another notch on the prosecutorial belt, we have to know that there are consequences to our actions.
We have by far the highest population of people in prison, around the world. That's not something that, I think we can be proud of. Having a direct connection with Jonathan's story really made it real, kind of for the first time for me. The people in our society who maybe have the least means are the most vulnerable. And if we don't protect and fight for the most vulnerable in our community, what kind of community are we? Ultimately, systems work or fail because of people.
What is the first step someone can take to fight against prosecutorial misconduct?
The first step is learning about who our prosecutors are in your community, looking at their body of work, but also what their values are. Are they doing their job for our community and not just getting convictions? We have voting power, we have elections, and there's always a point in the process where somebody can step up and do the right thing and make sure that the integrity of our justice system is being upheld.
The way I feel about it, it don't stop when I go home. It doesn't mean that's the end. I want to reach back, man, and help all I can and also be encouraged.
What do you hope spreading awareness on Jonathan's case would bring?
If we don't have a healthy and strong enough justice system, maybe someone can experience something less than justice. At the end of the day, I think that's when we win and we'll be able to lead and really restore the health of our communities.